Warning: the following program contains adult language, adult themes, and spoilers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening and welcome to this week's episode of This Week's Episode. It's the week of February 24th, 2022. This is episode 247, and I am your host, Kris Randazzo. Joining me tonight is Animated Cat Revival, Karen Randazzo.
Meow.
Timely Conclusion, Angie Fernot.
I'm a conclusion.
And Vampire Interviewer, Evan Goldstein.
We can do that.
Tonight, Walt Goggins experiences some fallout, Peacemaker brings us even more peace, Roy Kent lives in the trash, and more. But first, how you guys doing?
Well, based on our conversations before we started this podcast, we're dandy, all of us.
It's been a rough week, so yeah.
Yeah, rough week all around.
Working on comics, trying to make money, not making money, American dream.
Yes, indeedy do.
And there's a nationwide paper shortage. Who knew? We're running out of paper. Yeah, that's a thing.
And it's not just the toilet kind.
That's true. That's true. It's not just the toilet. I don't even think toilet paper's not limited anymore.
No, it's been a long time since that was really an issue, but it's going to be one again, damn it. Or maybe not. This is different paper.
Who knows?
But anyway, yeah, so we're just dealing with trying to make a comic and not having paper to make it. So we made a bunch of dates that we wanted to do stuff, and now we may not be able to do anything on any of those dates.
Well, like the printers are like, yeah, we can have it. No, wait. Yes, we can have it by then. Give us your money. Oh, thank you for your money. By the way, we can't. I feel that you knew you couldn't before you took my money, sir. I have a strong feeling you knew that.
I tricked myself into thinking I was going to take a week's vacation in Puerto Rico for $150 today.
How that?
What spam email did you open up?
I wish it was spam email. I have a family member who would be traveling there for work and would allow me to stay in their hotel that they could comp, and they would be working, but I would be able to go if I would just pay airfare. Unfortunately, I looked up the wrong dates initially, which is how I found the cheap fare. And the dates that I looked up included a long weekend for me that I'm like, okay, so like work is really busy and I'd have to go, I'd have to work for the work days that I was there, but at least I'd have a long weekend, and that would be nice. But then when I looked at the correct dates, the flight was more expensive and no weekend. I'm like, okay, well, fine.
Well, this all turned to shit.
We are winning.
Damn. Just time to crawl back up into bed and pull up the covers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Except instead of that, I just worked some more.
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like we're working on this comic and we set ourselves a date for being, sending it off to the printers, and the original date was by the end of this month. Then we found out that there's a paper shortage, so let's condense. Let's try to get it in earlier. So we were trying to shoot it for last week, which that fell through because of reasons. And now I found another printer, and they're like, "Yeah, everything's great. Don't worry about it." And then I got on the phone today, and they're like, "Yeah, you may want to worry about it." I'm like, "You fuck."
And we should have seen it coming because we have a different printer that we normally go with, and we were going with this new printer in the hopes that we would not have the same issues that we're having with our usual printer. And 3 weeks ago, we would have been fine, but we should have known that this was going to happen, because if our regular guys were having a problem, there was no chance in hell that these people weren't going to have one too. We just thought maybe they'd be okay for a little bit longer.
Well, because they are a smaller company and they're not doing as much business, so that was my thought process behind it. But
But hey, it's okay. Our heads are going to explode with trying to figure this out, but we made a comic, guys. It's just not made yet.
Not a physical thing. It's all a digital.
It is digital. We
can actually send it to people digitally for like $1 and then just make some money.
I mean,
that's a thought. Anywho,
okay, anyway.
What have you guys been watching?
TV.
Yeah.
But not very much of it.
It was Dan last week that made the Better Off Ted reference on SAG, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that led down a rabbit hole for me. Because now I'm on episode 13 of season 1. Because that
What
show,
a wonderful show.
it's amazing. So fun.
Did you watch that when it was airing?
No, I had watched it after it had aired, but it had been a while ago, and it's so entertaining without being overt. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fun and lighthearted, and the whole cast is great. It's so quotable. So yeah, it's the Viridian trailers. Oof, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they are.
They are so much fun.
Okay, so out of curiosity, is that a show full of like good, like bad people accidentally doing good things, kind of shenanigans, or is it like?
So what it is, it's about a corporation, or the people that work for this corporation that is a big bad, but the people that work for it are different degrees of unique. Like, yeah, the gruff CEO kind of woman who's takes no shit from nobody. You have Ted, who's the lead character, who is like the catch-all for everybody. He's like the confidence and the leader, and he's a good, decent human being. You have the salespeople or the testers and the scientists. Like, there's a little quirkiness all over the place, and it's just literally surrounding this company called Viridian that does ridiculous things. Like, there was an episode where they weaponized a pumpkin, I think. In the first episode, the boss walks into Ted's office and she goes, "We need a mouse that can withstand temperatures of 190 degrees. And he goes, "We can do that." And then she goes, "Good." And she turns to walk away and goes, "Wait, live mouse or computer?" And she goes, "Ooh, I'll get back to you." And then leaves. Now, he had no problem saying, "We can do that." Either way, doesn't matter. But it's a fun show. I like it a lot. It's the lighthearted, while I'm eating my lunch kind of show that I've been watching as of late. So,
yeah, I feel like this
Nice.
is going to be a week of not watching a lot of television because we haven't been.
well, I mean, I caught up. I watched that. We finished Peacemaker, which was great.
We finished Peacemaker too.
How'd you
Sure
guys like
did.
it?
Very much. Like, all of it. I liked it. I liked all of the leg.
I'm trying to want, like, there's some, I mean, of course it's geek culture, but there's some people out there that really hated it, and I don't understand why. I can understand, like, it not being your thing, but, like, how do you hate it? There's a fucking eagle.
Eagly.
Well, there's a black woman. So
And
there you
she's
go.
gay.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, there's a gay black woman, and Peacemaker isn't the straightest guy in the world.
Wait a second. Now,
They don't
hold
like
on.
The Klan.
When did that come up? I don't remember there ever being talk about him being gay. Not that I have.
It was like just conversational. They didn't make a big thing of it.
There was one scene where that was with the woman who was like she was supposed to identify him from police photos, and she identified the dad instead.
Yeah.
She was with her boyfriend the whole time. There was a scene with the three of them in bed, like, afterwards.
Okay, I don't remember that. Because there's a news article that says, like, all the sex, and I only remember one heavy sex scene where
It was kind of hard to get out of your head.
yeah, that was like episode 1. Like, it was rough, but I mean, either way, that it doesn't matter. Like, yes, the Klan stuff, it was interesting where they went with that, but yeah, he got his.
I mean, there's your
gubbins.
answer. I mean,
All right.
why does everything have to be so political, Evan?
I don't even like
Gay people exist. Why do they have to be so political?
Kris, do you feel a way about this?
I think not liking it based. That's the only thing I can think of, other than with it just not being somebody's taste. But then at that point, it seems like just ignore it. Like anybody who just actively hates on this is like, all right, what exactly are you actively hating on? Because I don't get it. I thought it was phenomenal. I loved the fucking Aquaman bit at the end was great.
Every after credit scene was worth watching. Like the way they go on and riff is fantastic. Like, because that's all impromptu. Like they're just figuring that shit out as they go.
You mean improv?
Improv.
Yeah.
So
I imagine it's a very fun show to work on.
I definitely got the impression that they were having a good time, and I love that. Like, because even they could have all friggin' hated each other. Who knows? But it really did not seem like that when we were watching it. And I love when a show can convince me that it was not just fun for me to watch, but fun for someone else to be a part of.
Yeah, it did look like a genuine blast to be a part of, and everyone was having a good time. Just as a side note here, my dog seems very confused right now. Usually when we're recording, she just lays down and, like, that's her night. Right now, she keeps walking over to the stairs and looking up like she wants something.
Well, give her $20 and tell her to go get it.
I'm just giving her some pets right now, but I'm very confused. She doesn't seem unhappy. She just seems like, I want stuff.
I heard the pitter-patter of dog feet, and I was very excited.
Yeah, she's been clicking around, pacing about the basement, which is not her usual style. So,
she's a little off her game. We took her with us to go away for the weekend to my sister's house, where she does not generally have a good time because they have a Bernese Mountain Dog who's under 1 year old.
Oh, baby.
Yes. Very big baby, very energetic, wants to play baby.
Has no qualms about jumping on you or over
or
you
using your
or
arm
stealing
for
your food,
a chew toy.
Chewing on all things at all times, especially you.
Sounds
not
awesome.
an easy dog to be around, and it's like 5,000 pounds of just
solid
gigantic
muscle.
Dog fuck you. And Naga's not really into that. And
so right now Naga is trying to look up the stairs, waiting for that other dog to show up. That's what's going through her little puppy head right now.
Traumatized. I wonder.
She just sniffed the pool table. I think she smelled my bagel. I took out a bagel to thaw, and now she's back at the stairs, looking upstairs.
And this has
I wonder if she
been
wants a toy.
this week's Dogcast.
Yeah.
Here's the play-by-play.
And she's heading back in this direction again. I feel like I should go get her something to chew on. Like maybe that's her deal. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab her something to chew on. Why don't you guys talk about TV shows? I'll be right back.
Sure. What else? What else did we watch? We watched a crap ton of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, we're still doing that. Karen, I did watch the first episode of season 3 of Discovery of Witches.
Okay, well, that doesn't help me a lot, but great.
And it was an episode. So going back in, I was watching with a friend, and I was like, "Who's that character again? What do they matter? What's happening?" And she was like, "Oh my god, you need to go back, don't you?" And I was like, "Probably, but I'm not gonna. So you're just gonna have to keep explaining."
I'm gonna ask questions.
Yeah, she was like, "All right, whatever. I'll tolerate this because you're giving me a platform to watch this on, but also like get your shit together." I was like, "No, I'm not gonna." I'm just really glad that they left the past. I hope they're going to fucking stay out of it because they should, because that content was crap to me, and I already liked it better knowing that they were not there.
I can say this without spoiling that, like, given where this season goes, it's kind of surprising to me how much of the show as a whole they spent in the past.
Yeah,
they spent an entire season of 3 seasons in the past.
And that's the
thing.
Discovery of Witches.
Oh, okay, cool.
I figured I'd talk about something you didn't care about while you were gone.
Ooh.
And that,
sorry, buddy.
like, that part of the story when they're in the past doesn't seem like it was, 1/3 of the story.
Yeah, like even okay, so here's the thing. Contextually, even watching without all of the knowledge of what happens, I still never felt like it was. It never felt like anything they were doing was actually as important as they made it sound, except for the part where she was training in magic. Mm-hmm. And that was the only thing. And I was like, okay, yeah, I get that, but also like if that was really all I was going to get out of that plot, it would have been nice if you just sped that shit up a little. Like, make it 3 episodes of her in the past training with magic and like, oh, some other stuff happens, but like an entire season, like, I don't know. It felt like they justified it with budget or something. Like they spent too much money on sets and they had, I don't know. It was just so weird and it felt convoluted and I hated it, but whatever, I'm back on board. The first episode was cool. And Evan, back to you, because now Kris is here and, you know.
Well, I was going to say that we also are trying to catch up on Dickinson.
Yeah, back on that. Which those episodes also recently started to feel disjointed.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like they've lost their way with season 2. I mean, I remember watching season 1 and like, yeah, this is great. I want to watch the next episode. And then like now it's, if we watch it, it's fine. It's not bad. I'm just not as engaged. I don't feel like they're doing her character justice right now. It's a lot about everybody else. And her sister's weird. Sister's really weird.
Her sister is funny.
There's a spider dance and whatnot. That was
great.
Weird. But that, what have I been watching? Oh,
is that season 2? Is that the one that has Danny Rand in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is also a painful obstacle, because I was like, hey, it's fine. Maybe he's okay in this, and like he's not.
He's the same exact fucking character, so there's that.
He's not good.
Thank you. I kept yelling fucking white privilege at the screen when he would show up.
But one thing that one new show that I've started watching that I really want everybody to watch is Marvel's Hit Monkey. Okay.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if either of you or anybody in the world knows what Hit Monkey is, but it is based off of a Marvel property. It is about a monkey who becomes a hitman because a hitman is being hunted down by a group that he killed, like their leader. So they're hunting him down and he ends up pretty badly hurt and then being nursed back to health by this monkey's like tribe, if you will. And the bad guys find the hitman, kill all of the monkey family except for one monkey.
Spoilers.
But this is first episode. And Assassin comes back as a ghost and is with the monkey, helping the monkey get revenge on the people that killed his monkey family. Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I know it sounds utterly ridiculous, but I was there when he was watching the first episode, and I was unfortunately not able to finish watching because I have had an absolute garbage schedule as per usual. But like, I did not want to walk away from the room while he was watching. I was really into what they were doing with the story. I liked the animation style. I thought the character was interesting. He was clearly flawed, clearly a villain.
But he's also like he has emotional connectivity issues where he can't bond with people, and he's trying to he's working through an emotional roller coaster.
It's like he's a sociopath, but he's trying not to be one, or a psychopath, but he's trying not to be one.
As a ghost.
This was before he actually died.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I was like watching this like as you were getting to that scene, I guess. And I found it interesting. Like, knowing nothing about it, I was like, all right, I'm in.
And the best part about it, okay, I can't tell you who voices the monkey because I don't know who Fred Tatasciore is, because the monkey speaks in monkey, ooh, ooh, ee, ee, ah, ah. But the assassin, who's named Bryce, is voiced by Jason Sudeikis. It's Ted fucking Lasso. It is fantastic.
And he has a couple moments where he's like talking and he kind of sounds like Ted. And I'm like, oh man, if Ted was a hitman.
This is if Ted was a hitman, because he's like positive and he's fun and he's trying to help the monkey. It's so weird. It's so entertaining. George Takei does a voice in it. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Olivia Munn is in it.
What is this on?
It was
on Plex.
It is on Plex. I think it was a Hulu thing. Yeah, it was a Hulu animation.
Yeah, I remember seeing a trailer for it back in the before times.
Yeah, I don't know if it was last year. I don't even know if are they doing a season? I don't know if they're doing a season 2 of it. I haven't hit the end of it yet, but it is so much fun. I'm having such a blast watching it. And now like I'm getting towards the end of what's available and I'm slowing myself down kind of thing, because it's saying that it's still open-ended. Like they haven't canceled it yet, but we'll see. It's a lot of fun.
Sounds fun.
Ted Lasso is an assassin the ghost of an assassin. Way over the top too. It was very fun. I highly recommend it.
What about you guys? What have you been watching?
Not a ton. I've been living in the MCU because work is hell and the MCU is good escapism.
Mm-hmm.
I have watched all of Discovery of Witches, but I will save that for when Angie finally gets there.
Hey, at least I started it. I'm just saying.
We can actually talk about Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window, because we finished that too.
I finished that as well.
So,
and I haven't talked to my mother-in-law, who was the one who got me to watch it, because she didn't get that it was satire at first. And coming to the end of it and how it ended, I'm like, okay, yeah, by the end of this, you have to be aware that this is not serious.
I really wanted it to be, though.
Listen, there was an airplane scene. Okay, there will be a part 2.
It was so weird, is my final assessment of it, having seen it all.
It's a good assessment.
But it wasn't bad weird.
It wasn't bad weird.
It was just weird.
It wasn't it wasn't outright funny.
No.
But it wasn't serious either. I don't know what it was.
That's how I felt. Weird. Like there were times where I was really confused, because I was like, I think I'm supposed to find this part funny, but I was invested, and
as if it was real. We were invested as if it was not satire.
Yeah, we had that conversation with you, and there were still a few times when I was like, I don't know. Like
in the first episode, the parts where I was watching, I knew that it was, going in this direction of murder and mystery and whatnot. And it kind of bummed me out, because she had moments with the guy across the street where I was like, I would really rather watch this if this was going to be a rom-com between the two of them, because that would make me happy and they have chemistry and I think it would be good. And I'm bummed out that this is going to go in a murdery direction.
Go in a murdery direction. I like that.
What's worse about all of this, truly, and spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched this yet, is that it still could have sort of gone in that direction
up until the last episode.
It couldn't. They
kind of closed the door on that one.
Yes.
I really hope they don't make more of it, because now that you know that it's a joke, we get it.
But if you step back and you look at the show, there's so many red flags. Just the sheer quantity of wine, we discussed that.
Mm-hmm. The handyman who's always working on the mailbox.
Yeah, the neighbor, not the across the street neighbor, the female neighbor.
Yeah, the bitch neighbor.
They were
my husband.
They were the over the top portion of this. That they were the satirical portion of it, but then there were the moments where her relationship with the male neighbor, the across the street guy, outside of the murdery stuff, her best friend, like that stuff was, that relationship, her and her best friend, was genuine. Like I felt that could have been real, like not satirical at all. Like she was genuinely concerned for her friend.
She wasn't she was, I guess, kind of a stereotype, but I would agree on that. In fact, I would go so far as to say that, like, when it came to her and her relationships, like, there were parts of it, like even the scene where I think this was the first couple episodes, she walks in her daughter's bedroom and then she's like, how do I keep forgetting? Because she sees her daughter and her daughter's not there. And like, to me, that's not funny. That doesn't play into this. And that's the part where, like, there were some elements of this that felt like a very real drama. And I think they did those parts so well that they almost did it too well. And that's what kind of made it hard for me to connect with this as satire.
Well, but then you have the whole connection with the Instagram guy. Like, that was way over the top. And
she looks so good, though. I loved her in a good sex scene. Thank you for that, Kristen.
That was a hell of a sex scene.
It was hysterical, and like that.
That part actually made me laugh because, like, all the places that they had sex all over the house, and I'm like,
right,
yeah, this is some shit you would see in a romance novel that it's like it would not actually happen in real life, like over on the kitchen island,
right,
on the stairs.
So her ex-husband, or I guess it's her ex, like that relationship was two-sided. It was like two sides of the same coin kind of thing, where she had that loving relationship and like he showed up when she needed him, like that whole I need bread thing. And then it was ridiculous because he took her daughter to children's to work day and she got eaten. Like,
like that
was fucking ridiculous.
Like, it goes so many different directions. I'm like, I don't know, like, what are you doing to my brain right now? But also, don't stop.
Most of the time, satire is subtle. The satire in this was supremely over the top. Like,
I'm not smart enough to get satire. That's what my takeaway from this is that this show was too smart for dumb Americans, and I
don't think that's the case. I think there was just something kind of off. Like,
I think
it wasn't funny enough to be a comedy, but it was like wasn't serious enough to be a drama. It was like a dramedy, a dark comedy, but like it wasn't really any one thing.
It was weird. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it too. I will say that. Like, I enjoyed watching all 8 episodes or whatever it was. I hope they don't make any more because I don't know how much more of this, like, I don't know what the fuck's going on I can take.
Yeah. I did like the last line or the last scene where she's like, I don't drink wine anymore. I'll take a vodka. That's right. That's where that character would go. I believe that.
Yes. I forgot that I did finish that. And I finished Discovery of Witches. And we did actually get a chance to start the first episode of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, that's right. That came back too. Yeah.
Yeah, they only dropped the first 2, and we only had a chance to see one of those. But so far, back in good form.
Gotcha.
Good banter. There was a fantastic, amazing scene on a Ferris wheel. Just like blew my mind. But yeah, we're really psyched to get back to that show.
Nice.
Yeah, didn't miss a step, although I missed very much of a step because it's been a very long time since new episodes of that show. And
yeah, he kept asking me, like, who is that and what happened? And I'm like, filling him in, just kind of like you with the Angie with the Discovery of Witches.
I really wish I had watched a recap beforehand, and I'm going to watch one before we get around to watching the second episode because I felt pretty lost in a bunch of stuff. Like,
and I mean, a lot of services will do that recap when it's been a while since their last season. Netflix does it all the time, but I guess Prime is too good for a recap.
I think they're on there. They're just like, they're their own episodes that you have to choose to watch, and they're just called Episode 0. Like,
well, damn,
that's
Prime,
not helpful.
It isn't helpful.
Call it a recap. Autoplay the recap, you bastards.
I concur with that statement.
Also, we have gotten through the first season and into the second season of Avatar.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So now Ellie is very excited because she knows Toph is coming.
Dope.
Cool.
And I am enjoying it. I'm actually I think I was pretty bummed about Sokka anyway. I was sad that, she died and whatnot. But yeah, I'm enjoying it continually. So
good.
Yeah, we watched the Avatar Day episode where Sokka got to be a detective, which was pretty funny.
Boomerang, you do always come back. There was a couple of things in that episode that really made me laugh.
I think when it's around Sokka, there are certain episodes that they're very good at. Like, here, we're going to give you some really heavy content, but then we're going to give you something lighthearted. And you're like,
Well, one of the things that made me laugh was that they went a long way for it because they were putting Aang on trial for the murder. And then they found him guilty, and they said his punishment was that he was going to be boiled in oil. And then the Fire Nation showed up, and he saved everybody from the Fire Nation. And then they changed the Avatar Day celebration to be in celebration of him instead of being mad at the Avatar. And then he was like, and here's our new Avatar Day snacks in honor of the time that Aang wasn't boiled in oil. Here are some unfried dough.
And right at the beginning of the episode, Sokka said the best part of any festival is the deep fried.
Is the fried snacks.
Nice.
That was a long way to go for that joke, but it really made me laugh.
Nailed it.
and that's why it's worth it.
Just to kind of throw something else in here, the original release date for the last season of Mrs. Maisel ended December 6th, 2019.
Oh, geez.
Damn.
So
that's some pre-pandemic shit.
Yeah. I don't feel so bad about February 17th not remembering everything. Although it looks like here they dropped them a season at a time, which is not the case this time. They're doing it episode to episode. They're doing it looks like they're doing 2 episode drops at a time.
Mm-hmm. And wait, what service? They're Amazon, right?
Amazon, yeah.
Okay.
So hooray for them catching on to even though it may make me itch to not be able to marathon it, it is also kind of like, this is how you get it to stay in the conversation. Also, that first episode was called Rumble on the Wonder Wheel.
Awesome.
Oh my god, that scene was just so goddamn hysterical.
Yeah, that was some top-notch comedy right there.
There was also some they started the episode out with her act, talking about what she had been through, and then they flashed back to sort of picking up right from where they left off in the previous season, and that scene, seeing the fallout of how the last season ended, was also flat out hysterical.
I've never really watched that show, and I always every time someone talks about it, I'm like, why have I not done this?
It's available.
I don't know.
If you want to, you can.
Yeah, as soon as I'm done hate watching Walker. Fucking show.
I mean, we also did watch the first 3 episodes of season 2 of Resident Alien, which is also they're doing a good job with that too. It's concentrating a little bit more on the surrounding cast, which I like because it's a really great group of people in there. But yeah,
we've been putting that one off because we wanted to let some episodes stack up. So we still only have seen the first one.
Yeah, that's why we have one sitting and wait.
Yeah, it kind of seemed to me like there's all this other stuff that's coming right away. So we let that one stack a little bit, then we should be all right. By the way, the dog just needed to go outside, so mystery solved.
That makes sense. That tracks.
She was just trying to get us to let her out into the backyard.
Good dog.
Dog update.
There you go.
Well,
Dog
the
watch.
mystery is solved.
Oh my
It is our
God,
news
dog.
episode.
Wow.
I'm usually on the receiving end of those.
Oh my God.
What just happened?
The dog farted.
Dog
And
fart.
not just-
Kris is going to throw up.
She ran outside, like ran out the door and then just like squatted. Clearly she's working through something because holy crap.
Kris isn't gonna make it.
Oh my God.
Oh, Naga.
Dog. What did you get into? God, I'm turning on my fan. Sorry if there's noise. Holy shit.
That smells like
probably mean that
Literally,
literally.
holy shit.
wrapped in ass. This is horrible.
I am not looking forward to going out in the backyard tomorrow and seeing what she hath wrought.
Dog-sized shit outside. Naga came back in 14 pounds lighter.
Nice. I assume I'm going to need a hose, but anyway.
There's just gonna be a mini Naga. It's literally going to be a small dog made of poop.
You
Oh,
feel better, pup? She looks like she feels better.
Yeah. she looks good.
and Kris does not.
Well, the fan's helping. Good lord.
Circulate that shit.
Anyways,
That was
let's see. I guess
amazing.
I'm the only one who
Yeah, what do
hasn't
you got?
gone yet, right?
Yeah, what have you got?
Fat lot of nothing.
Oh, nice. All right, good talk.
Okay. Have a good night. Bye.
I've continued to attempt to watch Law and Order in like 5-minute bursts while I'm eating lunch because I've been so goddamn busy with stuff.
Mhm.
So that's been fun. I still love Law and Order, and probably the coolest thing I watched all week, besides Peacemaker and Mrs. Maisel, was I watched a YouTube video earlier today, and a really long ad for Law and Order came on in front of it, and it was wonderful. So it looks
Everybody's
like
listening.
Anthony Anderson is not the lieutenant. He's still one of the detectives. This, I don't know what to call her. I don't know her name, but she was on, I think, The Practice.
Okay.
She's the new lieutenant. Sam Waterston there. I don't know. It just made me really happy. It's coming back in a couple of days, I think. I think it's Friday.
Mhm.
Let's see. We've got, the 24th. Yeah,
That
2
is
days from now.
Thursday.
Wait.
Mm-mm.
The
When
last
this
time we
drops.
recorded, the last episode of Boba hadn't come out.
Oh, really? We didn't talk about the Boba Fett finale.
No, we didn't.
Oh, that was a good time, huh?
Yes,
It was a delightful time.
it was
Yeah.
delightful. I did really appreciate that he kept losing weight in the middle of the fight and then gaining it again for his close-ups.
Completely
Also known
missed
as
that.
Body double.
Yeah, the body double was pretty bad every once in a while. Like it was, and I don't have I don't mind husky Boba. I don't. What it was like, it was weird that every once in a while, like he would do a flip and then stand up and be like svelte. And then the camera would cut and then he would be husky again. I was like, that's weird.
I didn't notice that at all. And I'm usually pretty attuned to the low rent nature of some of the things they've pulled in this show. And like honestly, the Boba Fett's weight kind of did bother me in the first episode because they show him crawling out of the Sarlacc pit and he's got his dad bod, and like he didn't look like that when he went in there. How long was he in there? We still don't really know. They didn't really answer most of the questions I had, but they kind of wrapped up the show in a way that didn't make me care all that much. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just not going to think about this all that much, and I think that's the point.
That's the move.
That's the move. Okay, cool. Just that's good. What was it? I was listening to somebody do a recap where they're like, a lot of the stuff like dates and whatnot, they keep intentionally vague because they know people are going to keep writing all sorts of stuff that happens in between all sorts of other stuff. So they keep the dates vague so that if somebody needs to say this was 6 months or 2 years, they can do that kind of thing
Gotcha.
without it contradicting too much. Like, what is it? Apparently, Yoda's lightsaber was destroyed in a comic book at some point.
Okay.
And like, so people were like, oh, that's a big fat plot hole because Luke shouldn't have Yoda's lightsaber. They're not paying attention. And like, it's super easy to to right away. Like, you didn't even need to have a whole huge knowledge and crazy lore base. You could just be like, Yoda probably had more than one lightsaber. He was like 800, 900 years old. Like, he probably didn't just have the one. I mean, shit, how many did Anakin go through? He probably had a whole freaking box of them somewhere. So there you go. It's fun when it's fun, and it was fun. I got Boba Fett riding a Rancor. It was
Yes,
what I
you
was
did.
after. And that's what I got. He was shooting rockets out of his knees. It was
Right, that's what I loved
was
that.
weird.
That was like my favorite part of the whole freaking episode.
Like, why put
He's
it in
doing
your
that
knee?
dorky little pose. I'm like, man, he looks like a Power Ranger, and I don't care because he just blew a dude up with his knees.
Yeah, it was just like, if you're watching the battle, like if you paid attention too much to it, like a lot of it fell apart. Like a lot of ammo was wasted, a lot of that, because those zappy guns are not making it through the force field, no matter how many times you shoot the force field. Like we've gathered this. It's not slowing them down either. The only thing that slows it down is a giant beast, and that was good. Bring him in, but they tore that fucking town apart.
They did.
I
also,
did find
here,
it funny.
real quick, nerd alert.
Go ahead.
The ray shields that are not the ray shields. So the shielding that is around those things is based on the droidekas, which are the things you saw rolling around in episode 1.
Yep.
And it is a canonical thing that people know. If you concentrate your fire on a single point on droidekas, then you can occasionally break through the shields. That's probably what they were doing, but they were failing. And
Yeah,
also,
there
these shields
was
are a
no
bit more
concentrated
advanced.
fire at all. It was just they should have had
they were
stormtrooper costumes.
flailing in the dark. It was a good time, but they probably didn't think they were wasting ammo.
All right. I'll let it go. Well, I mean, heat of the moment. You're gonna pull the trigger. I get it.
It's fine, whatever.
I
As
understand.
the watcher or viewer of this episode, they sucked. They wasted
Yeah,
tons
I mean-
of ammo.
They all hid behind that one car.
They all hid behind that one
All of
car, and then they all hid behind that one wall that was made out of dust. And I don't know how it stayed up that long, because every time the laser hit it, a giant hole, like a giant welt, showed up in it. Like, that thing should have been dust in seconds. But no, it lasted up until the point in time the Rancor came through and destroyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it was riddled with holes, and I just didn't care. It did what I needed it to do, like a lot of the best Star Wars stuff does. It was just fun for the sake of fun.
It was riddled with holes. Name your sex tape.
Stop it.
I got a pretty decent conclusion to the whole to what's his name, Cad Bane. I thought that was a good way to settle that, even though I don't believe he's dead. From what I've come to understand, if you watched if you had subtitles on, it said the life drains out of it. The life drains out of him.
Okay.
Is what was written there. So I think it is intended to look like he's dead, but that thing was beeping, and they really made a point of showing that thing on his chest was beeping. So I don't know. I kind of feel like if they need him again, they can bring him back. Otherwise, he had a pretty decent conclusion considering his history with Boba Fett, for those of us who knew it. And otherwise, he killed the blue dude. Yay.
Yeah.
That was my experience.
Got the Oliphant in the tub.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cobb Vanth survived.
We're going to
Yay.
get Cyborg Cobb Vanth. Sign me the fuck up. Everything that was wrong with this show was 100% worth it if I get Cyborg Space Raylan Givens.
Cyborg Space Raylan Givens.
I mean, at that point, all complaints for me were completely null and void when they showed that scene of him in the tank at the end. Oh boy, I was so happy.
I understand, like, so for its flaws, for the things that, like, as I'm watching it, I go, oh, King Kong did it better. Like, for all of those points, there were a lot of things that were fun and entertaining and kept the story moving. My two like complaint / questions, I thought his black sword thingy could cut through just anything, and it couldn't. It stopped at that force field thing.
He can't control it. He doesn't have the power.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, lightsabers can't really cut through force fields. Then remember in Star Wars Episode 1 at the ending where they all like the whole big sword fight at the end, right? Darth Maul's chasing after Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and then those doors close, and then Darth Maul like taps the door with his lightsaber, and then they just sit there and stare at each other until the doors open again. So like there's certain shielding that lightsabers just can't get through.
Okay, all right.
I'm gonna pretend I know what you're talking about.
I remember because I remember that scene, like, because it wasn't like solid doors; it was force field doors. Shit,
yeah,
and they could see each other, but they couldn't attack each other. I actually remember that scene.
Because it was the best fucking part of that movie.
Right?
It was the only good part.
That's why you watch that movie. If you like the pod race, you like the pod race, or you just stick around for the lightsaber battle.
Lightsaber battles.
That's what you do.
Yeah, and I understand. I'm trying to remember Mengna's character's name, but I can't.
Fennec Shand.
Fennec. I understand why they did what they did, but I would have liked to see her be more involved. Like, she was really important for what she did, but I would have liked it to be maybe I don't know, maybe slightly elongated, because she just came in and finished it. Like, she came in, swept shit up,
and that's just killed all three of them.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have liked to see her. That was definitely a gripe that I had with this show, was we didn't get quite enough. Fennec. You know, what I wanted this show to be was Fennec and Boba Fett, you know, trying to be crime lords. You know, and that's what we thought we were getting, and it kind of failed on that front in a big fat Rancor-sized way. I still loved what it wound up being, but it makes me really, the way this wrapped up makes me so hopeful for a season 2. Like, just they're walking out of town and he's bowing to everyone. He's like, "Yeah, we're not cut out for this shit." Okay, yeah, we knew that before you started. So, come on. What are we doing next?
What's next?
Let's go on some adventures. Let's see the adventures of Boba Fett and Fennec Shand. Although, what's his name? Tamora Morrison's been saying like he wants to hunt down and get revenge on Mace Windu. I'm like, did you watch the third Star Wars movie, dude? Because he's kind of very dead. That dude got fried and launched out of a like 95-story window into space.
Star
I mean, we
Wars,
didn't
though.
see a body, but that's one of those situations where I'm like, all right, if that guy survived, I don't know. I don't know what he's made of.
Star Wars.
He's made of stars
Star Wars.
and wars.
Star Wars. So yeah, it was.
But yeah,
I enjoyed it. I knew what was coming. What was coming. Like, we got what we were expecting. So it was a good time. It was a good time. Got anything else, Kris?
no, just, you know, Book Boba Fett was great. I can't wait for Law and Order in a couple of days. And then Picard.
Days?
Yeah, Law and Order's in a couple of days. Picard's like what, next week, the March 3rd. So between Miss Maisel, Law and Order, and Picard, that'll probably keep us pretty well stuffed on good TV and Resident Alien
And
until
Moon Knight?
drops on the 30th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's the end of the month. I thought it was
So we
the
have to
beginning.
like the end of March to enjoy Miss Maisel, Law and Order, Picard, and Resident Alien. And then I don't have anything written down until May.
What about?
So I'm sure other TV is going to happen. Like, there's a bunch of stuff.
So is May your Obi-Wan? Like,
yeah, May 25th is Obi-Wan. That's the next thing I have a date for. And then Obi-Wan and Stranger Things is the 27th.
oh, Jesus.
So April and the beginning of May is just like
catch up.
I mean, there's probably not. I mean, I don't know how many episodes there are of Moon Knight, but there's not that many. So,
what have they been, like 6, 7, 8 for the
something
Marvels?
like that.
Yeah, they've been.
So
shorties.
that might lead us pretty close to Obi-Wan, but there's still going to be a couple of weeks of probable catch up, and that's fine by me. Is, you know, there will be something to watch at all times. So we'll see what slips through the cracks and what we have to go back to, but. Just, you know, also heads up, I'm going to want Picard.
Okay. Moon Knight is going to end up killing me because I know that's not a dump.
Can I tell you something crazy on the note of Moon Knight?
Sure.
So I teach in this after school program, and we get volunteers who help us out once in a while. And my volunteer on my Thursday afternoon class is a Moon Knight fan.
There you go.
Like, straight up knows Moon Knight facts and lore and was like, oh yeah, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Moon Knight, but here's what I saw that didn't seem to jive. And I was like, hold on, wait, what? You're like 12. What? But yeah, this like 17-year-old kid was like, yeah, I'm a Moon Knight fan. I'm pretty excited for this. Da-da-da-da-da. And I was like,
he is a known character. He's not as popular as some, but he is a known character.
well, but now I need to up my game so I can go back and be like, well, guess how much I know because I married the ultimate Moon Knight fan. Okay.
Have you seen our house?
Listen, you fucking child.
You don't even know.
You noob. Anyway.
So yeah, that's going to kill me. That's going to be like maybe the first 2 show up, and then it's going to be weekly, and it's going to hurt my heart.
Oh, but what fun will it be to think about it all week long? What's going to happen next?
We did have one other thing. We were visiting my sister this weekend, and she has started. Her kids are 8, 6, and 4, and she has started watching original recipe, like old school Simpsons with them.
Oh.
So we watched a couple episodes of Simpsons with the kids, and our kids were unfamiliar.
Yeah, so basically her husband was like every night. They don't currently have like a kitchen table, so everyone eats in the living room, and so the kids want to watch cartoons, and they all fight about things. So my brother-in-law was just like, no more. We're watching The Simpsons every night. That's the rule, because that way no one fights. I don't care if you want to watch it. This is what we're watching.
I don't care if you don't want to watch it, because none of us want to watch it. We're all going to be miserable together.
Oh, he wants to watch it. Not necessarily. Don't blame him. It was wonderful. Really old. We're on season 2.
Season 2, yeah.
And that was just fun. We watched. Goodness gracious, which episodes did we watch?
I can't even remember.
There was it was the one where Homer and Marge went to the prom, like the flashback.
Yeah,
episode.
there was a flashback one.
God, there was like 1 or 2 other ones, but there was so much chaos going on around it. I didn't really get to solidly sit and watch, but man, that show is good. I love old Simpsons. Like the first 5 or 6 seasons are just so top notch for me, and
nice.
I don't, it wasn't really holding Ellie's attention, I think, but John was into it.
Oh, that's good.
Indeed.
I feel like there's not enough destruction in it for Ellie.
There's no clear villain. There's not enough Mr. Burns yet, and he's not all that cool, so maybe she won't. Maybe she won't get into the Simpsons.
What was what's the clown's name? Krusty?
Krusty?
No, the Krusty's sidekick.
Sideshow Bob.
Sideshow Bob, yeah. He was a villain.
Very much so. But he's not in every episode.
It's true.
He was very sparingly, especially at first. Oh, man. Classic Simpsons. Good call. Well, that's about all I got, so I think it's time for us to take a break, and then we'll go over the news. What do you guys think?
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Woo-hoo.
I
Yeah.
disagree.
Well, screw it. We're watching The Simpsons.
Objection.
Overruled.
Law and Order. I'm so excited. All right. So we're going to do exactly that. We're going to do some commercials, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what's going on in the world of TV news. You're listening to this week's episode from Geekade.com. Stick around. And now, here's a quick look at some of the other original content available now from our partners and Geekade.com.
First up, the Transgalactic Uno Cup is nearly up for grabs once again. That's right, Transgalactic Uno Cup. Dr. Strike, Mercenary M, The Truth, and current champion, the Vestlord, are competing live for Uno supremacy. Yes, once again. Who will take home the belt? Or is it a cup? What the heck is actually going on around here? Is that a picture of Dean's dad dressed up as a cherub? I'm so disturbed. If you want to see how deep this rabbit hole of insanity goes, or if you just like watching some chuckleheads play Uno online, you should head over to twitch.tv/vest_lord on Saturday, February 26th at 11 a.m. EST, biatches, or maybe later. And the time keeps changing. So, either way, go watch these guys play Uno and follow Vestlord so you can get alerts and find out when he's live. Fucking nerds.
Twitch handles are the worst.
Twitch handles are interesting.
Next. This time, a theater near you, Sean, Paul, and Kris discuss their letter I pick, Inner Space. I love that movie. It's a tale of a tiny Dennis Quaid stuck inside a goofball Martin short, and hijinks ensues. It's also very 1980s. Plus, how would you like to know the state of hoarding among our hosts? Or how about a deep dive into the cutthroat world of Girl Scout cookie bakeries? What? All this and so much more. Be sure to check out A Theater Near You, episode 12, Inner Space. They're not just made in a factory?
You're going to have to listen.
They're made in different factories. And the different factories, apparently, Sean can taste the difference between the cookies that are made in the northern factory and the southern factory.
Of course Sean can.
Fucking monster.
It's fascinating.
Finally, on an all-new Weekend Rental podcast, the guys discuss the latest Nintendo Direct, complete with their feelings on Kirby's new mouth skills. Also, are we witnessing the brutal, bloody end of the Intellivision Amico? What exactly is the best way to intimidate preteens? Hear all about these topics and even more, and even some emails in Weekend Rental. In Weekend Rental, episode 119, the gamers are tickled pink.
Kirby's got mouth skills.
Abamondi.
For all this and more from us and our partners, be sure to keep your eyes on geekade.com.
Abamondi.
And we are back. We are here, and we're fine. We're all fine here. How are you?
How are you?
How are you?
Let's talk about what's been going on in the news. Let's see, where'd we leave off last time?
All the way back to Thomas Sanders' funny Avatar, The Last Airbender.
There we go. Yeah, this was just a little TikTok style video that was sent.
Choice.
I genuinely don't even know where that is. Oh, I don't think I clicked on that one. Okay, cool.
No,
I'm just going to sit here and enjoy it.
That's not news. That was
not news.
Okay.
That was the break there. The first news we have is Good Omens cast confirmed for season 2 of Neil Gaiman's fantasy series, which I think is fascinating. So what do we got here?
Derek Jacobi, Dame Cyan Phillips. Like there's a Steve Pemberton, Mark Gaddis. Like there's a lot of names here, and they have a lot of bona fides. So
yes, indeed.
Apparently, this cast is coming together quite nicely.
I have no idea what the show is going to be, and I'm so freaking excited for it.
I'm surprised. Yeah. I was like, because I remember when we first talked about this, I thought we were all pretty on board with like, this should not be more than one season because that will not be true to the content, and I don't know what else they could bring to the table. And by the end of it, we were like, this was so good, I don't give a shit. Like, just give me more.
Good stuff.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest, there's still a part of me that's a little resistant to that just because I don't know where it's gonna go, and we all know how I feel about that when things change from source content. But I got what I wanted in the first season, so I can be accepting of this, I guess.
Well, apparently Neil and Terry had plans for a second book. They had content, outlines, some kind of story in mind. Cool. So it's not being pulled out of thin air by Amazon.
That's fair.
Which is good.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman don't fuck around. So I feel like it's he's not gonna screw this up. So
yeah, yeah, I would agree. And the cast is so strong that like that's also going to help quite a bit.
I was just thinking about this show the other day and how I haven't rewatched it recently, and I should because it only takes a day. But the reason I was thinking of it is we on the drive back from my sister's, which is very long, John was getting very bored. He had not fallen asleep, and I proposed that that we try listening to an audiobook. And we didn't do it then, but on another drive with him, I grabbed an Audible sample of something that I know he's interested in, and so we listened to a few minutes of the audiobook of How to Train Your Dragon, which is read by David Tennant. And it was fantastic, and he liked it, so we'll probably do more of that. But after it finished, both kids were in the car with me, and I was like, so guys, the guy that was reading the book is Scrooge McDuck from DuckTales. And Ellie was like, I thought when you put it on that it was DuckTales. So she recognized his voice, and then I was explaining all the other things that David Tennant is in that I like, and I realized that, like, he's in everything I like.
I think you just like David Tennant.
He's in Harry Potter. He's in Doctor Who. He's in Good Omens. Like, okay.
Better not be wiping your stinky butt on my rug.
What?
You talking to me?
Talking to the dog.
Okay. I won't wipe my stinky butt on your rug either, though.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Appreciate you.
rule of thumb.
No stinky butts on rugs. Got it.
Scoot, scoot, scoot.
I mean, you smell like shit, dog. I'm not gonna lie. You're making me nervous.
All right, I'm gonna move this
continues.
She's looking at me like she's like, I'm gonna rip another one and there's nothing you can do about it.
I want her to lift her leg like a human would.
Be nice to her. She's not feeling well.
Apparently.
Anyways, let's see. Next story. This comes from comicbook.com. Scrubs reunion announced for ATX TV Festival.
Yeah.
I wish they wouldn't write headlines like this, because it's like the cast is going to be together on a panel at a festival. They're not making new show. They're not doing new content.
That is correct, but what I do like about this article and the reason I threw it in there was because they're talking about doing a reunion kind of thing, a la Psych, which makes a lot of sense.
Which would be fine.
Which makes a lot of sense and would be fine. And they're, of course, they're talking about it. There's absolutely nothing set in stone because, of course, number one, Disney's got to get on board. But apparently, the biggest hurdle right now is Bill Lawrence, the creator, because he doesn't want it to be. He wants it to be really a lot like the Psych thing. Because that didn't come off as like a money grab. That was like for the fans. People appreciated it. They continued the story kind of thing. It wasn't just rehashing old garbage. So I'm happy that the panel got together. They started talking about it, and there is a possibility of it because I love that show, and they both got Faison and JD. I can't remember his real name
Zach
right
Braff.
now. Zach Braff got together and did a T-Mobile commercial for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was
remember seeing
adorable.
that.
So, yep.
Next up, this came out of friggin' nowhere.
Nice.
Comicbook.com is reporting its SWAT Cats reboot is in the works.
Right? And like this article, like I didn't realize, I remember SWAT Cats, it was a hit in 93, but apparently I didn't realize how big of a hit. Like it was the top rated Saturday morning cartoon in 94. So
yeah, I'm not sure I believe that because
I'm gonna call it bullshit.
I'm going to go ahead and call a little bit of bullshit. I know that this show is popular with a certain amount of people, but has the distinction of being the top animated syndicated show in 1994.
Yeah.
See, that's I don't know, man.
I'm okay. I want to see this.
I think SWAT Cats was super cool. I remember seeing it. I loved this and Two Stupid Dogs. Like that kind of Hanna-Barbera revolution that was happening around that time was very interesting. I love Hanna-Barbera as the classic animation and whatnot. SWAT Cats was a very interesting property to come from them. But like it is a cult hit at best, as far as I know. I have not spoken to very many people in my nerd circles who remember the cartoon more than vaguely.
I have never had the conversation, oh my God, do you remember that episode of SWAT Cats? And that, I will never have that, but I'm okay with this. I want to see what they do with it. Because they're trying to make it for younger kids and not, doing that thing where they're rebranding something for the adult. I don't want SWAT Cats to be adult. I don't know. Let them, fly their jet out of their junkyard and just stop crime. Make it a thing. Ready, go. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm interested. Probably not enough to properly watch it all that much, but I'm glad it's a thing they're doing. Sure, why not? Why not reboot this? Because this is basically a brand new property to just about everyone.
Exactly. No one is going to be upset. Maybe some people will be upset if they like change the art style dramatically, but
What do you mean,
nobody
maybe?
remembers the plot.
I'm sure there is a diehard cabal of SWAT cat enthusiasts that will be very, very upset if they like gender swap a cat at some point.
A SWAT cat's cabal. Write that down.
Oh boy.
We'll see what happens. I'm interested.
Just writing down a cabal of SWAT cats enthusiasts.
I have never heard of this show, so okay.
I remember it being a thing, and people were really, really kids were really into it, in my age group. And I watched a few episodes, and I was like, what the fuck is the big deal? And why do you care so much about this trash? I was mad about it at the time. No surprise there, I'm sure.
I mean, you were a weird kid.
Yeah, that's
true. You were a very
true.
angry child.
Oh.
So.
Okay, I'm just going to stop talking.
It's SWAT cats. What is there to get fucking angry about?
It was stupid. I didn't understand why everybody wanted to watch that when there was Power Rangers or Gargoyles or X-Men, anything else.
Did you just put fucking Power Rangers on the same level as Gargoyles?
Yeah, really. We're gonna have to talk about that later.
That's why I'm saying anything else. When I was a kid,
Dude,
yes.
SWAT cats is on par with Power Rangers. That's the level of entertainment we're talking here. And that's just my vague guess based on what very, very, very little I remember of it. But boy, Power Rangers, man, that was one I could never wrap my head around.
I never will. There was I can't remember. So a local shop up north, a friend of ours did a signing for the Green Ranger, and that Angela had the honor of doing a poster for them, but that led me down a rabbit hole of watching, YouTube videos and whatnot to see his visage. And there was this one video of him, I don't know, passing the torch to the new generation, but every Power Ranger showed up, and it was like a football field full of fucking Power Rangers. There were hundreds of them. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, there've been that show's been going on for a long time, and they keep making more Power Rangers.
Yeah, it's the never-ending bile that is the Power. Ugh, I hate that show. Anywho, moving on.
Not for me. Not going to say it's bad, but it's definitely not for me.
I'll say it. It's bad. It's bad and it stinks.
Nerdist.com. Sorry, I just got distracted. I clicked on this link for this story, and then there's a Peacock original, True Colors, starring Alex Rodriguez, Laurie Hernandez, and Mario Lopez.
Nice.
What?
I feel like I clicked on the wrong thing.
I don't know what it is, and I don't want to know. Anyway, the CW orders pilot for Jensen Ackles' Supernatural prequel.
It's finally. Yep.
Yay!
More Winchesters, more gooder.
Mm-hmm. It's about their parents, right? That's what I heard.
Yeah, it's about the parents with narration by Jensen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how I met your dad.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
Anyway.
I will say, because they did mention it in the article, the bullshit about Jensen and Jared having a falling out over this, it's not a thing. It's been resolved. It's fine.
Yeah, but we just need to dredge it back up again for extra drama points so more people will click on this article.
It was literally a misunderstanding. I watched/listened to this podcast episode that Jensen was on, where he was being interviewed, and that ended up coming up, and he was like, listen, Jared and I are tight. We're fine. Everything's great. He's like, I just play things really, really close to the chest, and don't want to say anything to anybody until I'm absolutely sure something is going to happen. And it kind of just slipped out of my control because I was on a set, and then it got announced and I didn't get to tell Jared, and like it's not something that he and Jared are going back into. And whatever. I just feel as though, as a Supernatural fan, I should make sure that I did my due diligence and I looked into it. There is no drama to pursue, so the end.
Give it another month and it'll come back up again.
I know.
Remember that time?
Diligence has been dued.
I'd like to play close to his chest.
Heyo! It was funny. I heard that same podcast, and he was talking about, like, we're actors. We're like super like, we didn't want to say anything so we don't jinx it.
Yeah, he's
really?
He's very superstitious.
You fucking were on Supernatural. What?
It's so weird because, like, Jensen talks about, he's like, yeah, I just don't like to not be busy. And, like, he was talking about how he'll get, like, fidgety, but he doesn't experience anxiety. And I was like, man, fuck you. Like, you and your normal brain. And meanwhile, Jared is like, I'm falling apart and I'm a mess. And I'm like, you're so relatable.
Come here, baby.
Why did I do this? Why did I decide to do this Walker Texas Rangers show?
Yeah, choices.
You know what, though? Genevieve,
choices.
She shows up on it quite a bit, and I think that it's really sweet because sometimes I think, like, he taps into better acting because she's on screen with him, and
so
that's
what you're
cool.
saying, he taps his wife.
Yeah, he does. They've got beautiful babies.
I think that's why he's doing it, because she was offered the job and she's like, my husband's gonna be home. Do you have something for him to do?
We want you to be Walker.
Can you give him something? He's very upset he's losing his brother.
Oh my God.
I saw a really cute Instagram video of Jared where he was like, I'm getting back in shape. And he was like lifting these like weight plates, just not on a barbell, just like holding the plates in his hands. And he was like doing a bunch of reps. And then in the middle of one, he like really struggled. And then he like, still had it in his hand and scratched his nose because they were styrofoam.
Yeah.
Just being cute. Adorable.
Guaranteed.
That's adorable.
But we're going to see Jensen soon on The Boys.
Yeah,
Yes,
we are.
That's coming up soon. Can't wait. Love that show. Anywho.
Back to work.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Where were we?
Futurama.
What is that?
I don't know. That doesn't seem like a clickable link.
It's not. Oh, well.
It was, that was the link for the podcast.
That was a reply.
Okay. All right, cool. Sorry, our news feed got a little confusing. Anyway, Futurama is back. Hulu has picked up the show for 20 more episodes. That's from Tor.com. But it didn't come back without its share of drama.
Yeah. So
Not dead again.
Yes, it's being revived. I don't remember how many times this show has come back, but they're making more of it. And
theoretically.
And what's his name? John DiMaggio. He was not coming back as Bender. And everyone was just like, what's going on? Why isn't you can't do this show without Bender? And they're like, fuck you, sure we can. We're just going to go ahead and recast him. And it's because he was asking for more money.
Allegedly, he was asking more money for everyone.
Not specifically. He was asking for more, like, they gave, was it Katie Seagal and Billy West both just accepted the offer. And then John DiMaggio was just like, no, I'm worth more than that. And so that was the holdup. And then people asked him, like, what, you think you're worth more than Katie Seagal and Billy West? He was like, fuck no, they should have asked for more money too. He's doing his thing. He can't speak for them, but he's not doing it until they pay him what he believes he's worth.
That tracks. That makes sense. I mean, some people may be doing it for reasons to get back into the spotlight or whatnot, and that was a hugely popular show. I have no idea what they're paying him, so I can't say if it's worth it or not.
I'm sure it's some sort of ridiculous amount of money, but I honestly feel like at that point, if you really want to reboot Futurama again, you better be prepared to cough up a whole lot of money. It just seems like this show really did run its course. this is no longer a show that was prematurely canceled. It seems like reviving it again is a weird move, especially because I believe that when it came back the first time, the new episodes weren't quite as well received as the previous ones.
No,
so I don't know. It's a weird situation. I haven't watched Futurama in ages outside of that Christmas episode. I really liked it when it originally aired. I didn't watch any of the reboot stuff, and I don't really have a whole lot of interest in watching this, especially if they're going to recast Bender, because Bender with a different voice is, I don't know, Tom Servo with a different voice wasn't the end of the world, so who knows? Maybe it'll be fine, but...
I like the way you just talked yourself out of that. That was fun.
Yeah. Glad you were along for the ride.
But basically, DiMaggio told them to bite his shiny metal ass.
There it is.
Way to wait for it. You connected, knocked it out of the park, Karen. Good job.
Thank you.
Nailed it.
As probably the person who's seen the least Futurama in the room.
And don't forget, I'm still here.
Oh, there you are, beautiful.
Future what now?
Who? What's a Bender?
Who is Matt Groening?
Grognon? Oh, hey. So, all right. Okay. I'm just looking at the next article. Like we had this. When did we have this conversation?
Yeah, we already talked about this a little bit, but slashfilm.com reports James Gunn says Peacemaker isn't straight. Case all the sex with men didn't make that clear. I don't know about all the sex with men.
No, that was the comment. Like, that was literally one of the things. That's why I said they just covered it in a comment. Like, I forgot about the part where he wakes up in bed with them after the crazy sexy times. But there was literally a part where he was like, oh, and all that, like, they were like arguing in the van or something. I think it was Diebeard.
Yeah.
Aw,
poor Diebeard.
But yeah, like it was like a straight up, like, just in argumentative conversation kind of thing, and I think it stood out to me because it was not supposed to stand out, if that makes any sense. It doesn't. I just heard myself. It's fine.
Peacemaker is the messy bisexual hero we all need. I'm sorry. That's a great line in an article. Yeah, honest to God, it didn't really either way. I don't why. Would the gay community want a character like Peacemaker on their side?
I think the question is, does any community want a character like Peacemaker on their side? The answer is yes.
Okay. I mean, not John Cena.
I just think the point of the character is that he's a mess, and it's an interesting character study to see them kind of attempt to redeem this kind of character. He wasn't... By the end of the Suicide Squad, we weren't exactly rooting for him. He killed that dude, but now we're seeing that he's not exactly rooting for him either, and that's interesting. That's the kind of stuff that James Gunn's good at.
Yes, he is.
I don't think it was in this article. I maybe was led to this article from the article I found it in, but I read that it was actually something that John Cena brought to the character. That it wasn't necessarily in the script, but he was like, yeah, I think that this dude is not straight. And when you look at the fact that he was raised by somebody like extremely everything phobic, and, you know, basically raised in toxic masculinity, and one of the ways he rebelled against that was being extremely into androgynous glam metal. Right. Like, it starts to make a lot of fucking sense.
What did he say? Back when men were men because they weren't afraid to be women.
Right. So I like this, and I think that that like messy bisexual, that's a trope. That's a thing these days. Is like, if you're bisexual, you're probably a mess, and so that's another way that it kind of makes sense. Like, Peacemaker's definitely a mess, so yeah, he's probably bisexual.
Damn.
I guess I'm bisexual too. Oh wait.
Heyo.
No, it's all a spectrum.
Well.
So we had a couple things Peacemaker related, didn't we? I guess we'll just get to it when we get to it.
Is there anything? Oh yeah.
Well, there's the Peacemaker is
Peacemaker
renewed.
was renewed for season 2.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, big fat hurray, hooray for that one.
That
Show was
happened
amazing.
before the finale aired, so it was like super bonus extra good news.
Yeah, I'm really glad, especially when we finished it. I was like, there is room for a sequel to this, and I'm super glad that happened. And then the other one was the Stephen Amell piece, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, that wasn't really news. It was just cute.
No,
Hey, look at this.
Listen.
Hey, look at this. We're having fun with this, and I like it.
it should be included.
I actually didn't read that one, so let me
Oh,
try.
it was just there was some line in Peacemaker about wrestling, and
I thought it was about Green Arrow.
oh no, it was about Green Arrow. You're right.
I remembered him saying something about Green Arrow.
And like
Yeah.
how he was lame or something.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
You got it.
So, yeah, Stephen Amell's,
He goes to brony conventions.
let's see, what were the actual scene from the show said, like Green Arrow? No, not like Green Arrow. That dude goes to brony conventions, dressed as the back half of Twilight Sparkle. With a 4-inch wide butthole drilled in the costume.
And the problem is, the next line of that is Vigilante going, it's probably so he can have better ventilation. That's funny.
But the Stephen Amell's response to this, somebody asked him if what he thought of that line, and he said, "Haven't seen it. Too busy showing Cena what professional wrestling should actually look like on TV."
Shots fired.
That's pretty funny.
I like it.
Me too. Good times. All right, let's see. Where were we? Scrolly. Something about Interview with a Vampire Hunter. Bleedingcool.com. Interview with a Vampire. AMC previews Anne Rice series adaptation.
So
I have no interest or connection to this at all, so somebody else talk.
I like me some Anne Rice Interview with the Vampire books. I am interested. AMC, I mean, with what they did with, Walking Dead and most of the stuff that they touch, usually turns out pretty well. Got a bunch of screen caps from production. It looks like they're putting the amount of money that they need to on it. So I am optimistic. I will check this out. I've been a fan of Anne Rice for quite a while. I have a number of those books on my shelf. So looks good.
Well, okay then.
Yeah, I'm excited to see something like that because all the movie adaptations were movies.
They were weak. There's a lot more to those characters than what was portrayed in the movies because 2 hours.
Yeah, fair.
The sauce was weak.
Yes, it was.
It was weak sauce.
All right, so moving
Well,
on.
all right. Let's
forgot this
see.
guy's name
Ted
was Brett
Lasso's
Goldstein.
Brett Goldstein meets kindred spirit Oscar the Grouch in must-see Sesame Street video. This isn't
so
really
cute.
news. It's just a cute thing that happened.
It is news. It's worth knowing. It's good stuff, and it spreads good vibes, and it's got him living out a dream because he has always wanted to be involved with anything Muppet related. And listen, he's here, he's there, he's every fucking where. Okay, he's in Sesame Street.
Yes.
And he was the one in the garbage can. I thought that was so cute. I just listen. You can watch it. There's like even a short clip. It's just it's heartwarming. It's good stuff, and also it's related to Ted Lasso. So suck it up, nerds. I know you're grateful.
Anything with Ted Lasso is good.
And Roy Kent. Well, I guess Brett Goldstein, since we're using his real name now.
I forgot his name was Goldstein.
I know. It's so great. It makes more sense as to why I like him so much. I guess he is a lot like you.
We are a curmudgeonly group.
Oh my god, you
Goldsteins.
are so cute. So yeah, that was it. That was my contribution. You're welcome.
Well, let's see. Next up from slashfilm.com, Our Flag Means Death trailer. Taika Waititi is Blackbeard in HBO Max's pirate comedy series.
Now-
I haven't watched this yet, but
The trailer's fantastic. It's the so if Waititi plays Blackbeard and oh shit, I can't remember his Darby Rife. I don't know. Race Darby. He plays a pirate by the name of Bonnet, where he is the gentleman pirate, and their interactions, I mean, just seeing the two of them on screen, anytime that happens, it's fucking hysterical. But this is so funny. And it's, Blackbeard related, so that ends up throwing, shows up on my radar because of all the crap that we're doing. And anything with these two is definitely worth the watch because they have fucking hysterical.
I'll watch anything Taika Waititi wants to do.
So it looks like a lot of fun, and it's it's HBO. They've been doing pretty well. That HBO Max is thrown. They were supposed to be doing a lot more, and I feel like they're pacing themselves and just putting out quality stuff as of late.
Except for And Just Like That.
Well, I mean, we didn't like it. Somebody had to like it.
I don't think anybody liked it.
Yeah, I don't think I have not come across anyone or anything saying anything positive about that. Much like the second movie. So
maybe it's just limited to that property, and it should be, buried, salted, and burned.
I'll agree with that. I can do it. Yeah.
As long as you remember to salt and burn.
So yeah, the trailer is attached to this article, and it's actually definitely worth the watch. So check it out.
Yeah, it looks kind of up my alley. I'll have a peek at it. But as we said earlier, I'm not exactly itching for more new TV to watch.
Yeah.
Well, it's too bad because in May.
Oh, is this coming out in May?
No, Stranger Things. I was going to the next article.
Right.
I was shooting you the ball,
helping you
setting
with
it up
Sunday.
for an easy alley-oop.
And now I'm over here playing soccer. Stranger Things will return in May and will end with season 5. That is the best news I could have possibly heard about this. This comes to us from Tor.com. I'm so glad that this show is ending because I love it and I don't want it to go past. I want it to have an ending, so now it's going to get one. Yay.
Was there ever discussion about when it should end, or what? Like they had thoughts about it running 5 seasons? Like I can't remember if that was ever mentioned in all of the fucking seasons previous.
This sounds vaguely familiar to me, but I couldn't tell you for sure.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
This article does hint at the possibility of a Hawkins verse.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you want to do spin-offs in this universe? Sure, go nuts. I as long as you keep up the quality, that's fine. But these characters in this specific story, let it end. And
the Duffers are interested in telling more stories in this universe.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, all the kids are adults now, right? Like they're like 32, 33.
They're all growing up.
They grow up so fast.
But that's the thing when you create something like this. What happens to these kids very well may be happening to other people elsewhere. So sure,
monsters in another universe.
Yeah, could be anywhere. Could be everywhere. Maybe there's another set in I don't know, East Idaho. Is that a place? Doesn't matter.
They can team up with the Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Great. Now we're gonna get hate mail from East Idaho.
We love you, East Idaho.
Just east. Potatoes. Fuck you, West Idaho.
Oh boy. All right. This next one's certainly a thing. Fallout's from CBR.com. Fallout series casts Ant-Man and the Wasp and Justified's Walton Goggins.
So I was trying to remember when I saw Walton Goggins in Ant-Man, and then I realized hasn't come out yet.
What?
I gotta be honest.
No, he's in the second one.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. He was the one that was trying to buy the weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I don't love this guy. I just don't. I know that's probably the point. He's a good bad guy, but like,
he's actually a really good bad guy. I do like him as phenomenal. A bad guy.
I don't know.
You haven't really watched Justified, right?
No.
I mean, that's really where you fall in love with him. He was fine in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but the reason to like this guy is from Justified, because he was one of the main characters. He's kind of the main
anti-hero
throughout the series, and he's very good in that.
Okay.
But I can't think of anything else that I've seen him in that is anywhere near the caliber of Justified, of the character of Boyd Crowder. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't really know anything about Fallout, so
Yeah, what did I say to you? I don't know shit about Fallout, but I know Walt Goggins.
So wait, Fallout, that's the post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. Everybody lives
Yeah.
in the fallout shelters, and then they come out, and then you have the little.
But is that was I
Pip
playing?
Boy.
I get there's another series. The one that I was playing where they were up in the sky, was that Fallout?
No, that was BioShock.
BioShock. Okay.
Yeah, when you're up in the sky, you don't want to fall out.
That's
crap. That's also
you're
getting
fired.
adapted, isn't it?
What's that?
Sorry. Keep talking.
I'm actually looking up.
You want me to repeat my joke?
Nope.
Nope, we're good. Thank you, though.
I mean, you're beautiful, and I love
we
you.
love you. Yay.
BioShock is also getting adapted for Netflix, but it's going to be a movie instead of a series.
Interesting.
Which, I mean, I had said this years ago that they're going to run out of comic books to adapt, and then they're going to turn to video games, and I hope it goes well.
Yeah, listen, give me some
Because they're
Horizon
gonna
Zero
do it.
Dawn. Give me that video game movie. I'm super down.
That's too big. That's
Which one?
Horizon Zero Dawn.
So
Apparently,
behind the
the
curtain,
new Uncharted movie is terrible, but it made a fuckload of money, so...
oh yeah, because
Well,
it's got Spider-Man in it.
it.
Yeah. It's got Spider-Man and the guy from fucking Transformers. I brought a Transformer. So behind the scenes, we were having a conversation on Facebook that the new trailer or the new sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn, like now in the West, and Ferg, because we love Ferg, if I'm not mistaken, asked if he needs to play Horizon Chase Turbo, and we actually said yes, you have to, because Alloy drives the car. Alloy is the car. We're having fun with this.
Big fun joke.
He's not in the bus. He is the
He's
bus.
not in the bus, Frylock. He is the bus.
Anything
It's
to wrap
funny.
around to a Frylock joke. You're welcome. Wow. I'm looking up this guy's career, and he's been in a lot of stuff. None of it is of the caliber of fucking Justified.
Yeah, man. Justified's a great show.
It
And
really
that's-
is.
That's the only reason I'm a little bummed that it doesn't seem that he will be in the Justified reboot. It's like,
He's not.
like I get it. No, I don't think the story has anything to do with the Kentucky, the whatever mafia they were calling it. But the story's based in Detroit, and he's like hunting a murderer or something.
That's
Like, I'd be surprised if he didn't show up as like a, Raylan goes to visit him in jail or something like that to
They meet each other
get
at a
into the
Circle
mind
K.
of a serial killer or something. Like, I'd be surprised if they didn't find a way to fit him into the show at some point, because otherwise it's not Justified. Justified wasn't the story of Raylan Givens. It was Raylan and Boyd. Like, it was those two characters. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what I do know is that's it. That's all we have. That's all the news that's fit to news.
Yes, it is.
We
Well, that
did
was
it.
fun.
Yeah.
We did it. We did
I'm
the
trying to
thing.
remember what I homework was mine, right? Oh, okay, I remember it. Got it.
It was what we were going to watch before
Fergie.
Ferg told us to watch
Law and Order,
the
1967 edition.
Dragnet. There you go. Good times. Good times. All right, everybody. That is it. That is our show. This week's episode is not filmed before a live studio audience, but it is fueled by feedback from listeners like you. And you can get in touch with us in a multitude of ways. We have an official Geekade Discord, where there's an entire This Week's Episode channel dedicated to all things TV talk. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram through the official Geekade channels or the more specific Twepcast accounts. And of course, the four of us can be found in various ways. I'm available on Twitter at Geekade Kris, that's Geekade Kris. And you can read my work at StoneAgeGamer.com and in the pages of Nintendo Force magazine. Karen, where can people find you?
At STM Stitches on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Etsy, and TikTok.
Angie, where can people find you?
You can find me at A for Not on all of my socials.
And Evan, where can people find you?
Geekade _Evan.
If you need to know more about the shows we discussed tonight or what we'll be watching in the future, have a look at our show notes. And if you have any other questions at all, we can always be reached at mail@geekade.com. Just include the words "this week's episode" in the subject line so we know who you're trying to reach. This show is available anywhere fine podcasts are sold, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and more. And wherever you decide to listen, please like, comment, subscribe, and leave reviews because any and all feedback is welcome and appreciated. Again, as always, keep your eyes on Geekade for more fresh, original content. Evan, please tell us what our homework is again.
Around the World in 80 Days, the new version, episode 1. Season 1, episode 1. Just episode 1 is the title. Get some Doctor Who.
All right, I hear great things. I'm excited. We all need more David Tennant in our lives, so there we go.
Especially me, apparently.
There you go.
So that's going to wrap it up for us. You ready, guys? I'm Kris.
No, I'm Angie.
I'm Karen.
Eventually we'll get this right.
Say something clever. Good night.
And this concludes our broadcast day.